Greetings and salutations and welcome to a slightly delayed start of Fan Central this Tuesday evening. We apologize for that. So we have absolutely no time to get straight into some of the issues we want to get into. I will start with a quick chat with Dr. Sophia Ramlal, who is the chief vet over there at Caymanas Park. There's some issue regarding the pool. We broke that story here on CVM TV some weeks ago, and we want to get straight into it. Doc, good evening, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so there has been an issue we understand about the pool used by the horses at Caymanas Park. Can you tell us exactly what the issue is?
Well, we're very unhappy at the moment with the state of the pool. And just to give you some backdrop, the pool is a high-traffic training facility. Many of our horses use this pool for rehab, for muscle training, and so we're not happy at the moment with the state of the pool. Your images show it well. The water is green. We believe it can be more hygienic, and you know, it is necessary. The stakeholders are very concerned, and we are supporting them in those concerns, because we've seen instances where we believe horses, having been in the pool, have their reports. We have reports that horses have not done so well. As you can see, they're very immersed in this water. So, you know, if the water is not in a healthy state, then the possibilities of respiratory type infections, skin infections, those kinds of things are of primary concern to us.
So it's basically a matter of hygiene. The pool is not clean. Is there any other issue outside of that?
The infrastructure as well. This pool, to be fair, has been around for the better part of 2 decades, and so the infrastructure does need modernizing. Safety issues in terms of the footing, the pre and post washing off of horses, those things are also important, and we want a whole rehab of the pool. The pressing issue right now, though, is the water quality and the challenges that presents for horses who use this facility.
All right, so the question is, what can be done, and in how short a time can it be done?
There's a long-term fix, which is the rehab, which I know is the thinking of the persons who operate the pool. In the short term, what we're asking is for this pool to be drained, to be emptied, to be thoroughly cleaned out, to be whitewashed, to be disinfected, and ongoing to have that as a standard part of the operation, much like human pools. You know, we have to maintain water quality that is suitable. It's not just about the buoyancy and the ability to swim. It is also ensuring that once you've gone through that process, you come out just as you've gone in, probably just a little bit fitter. So cleaning it, whitewashing it, addressing the footing issues, the vegetation around. Since we started talking a lot about this, commendations to the promoters, a lot of the vegetation at the periphery of the pool has been removed. So things have started. What we need is for more of this to be done, and really and truly, it needs to be addressed urgently.
Quickly, do you have some kind of timeline when you figure that this whole issue may be resolved?
It really is in the hands of those who operate the pool. The Commission, as a regulator of the industry, has been in dialogue with them. They have a different long-term view. We've put our short-term view on the table, which is, you know, close the pool immediately. Go ahead, clean it out, empty it, whitewash it, fix the footing, and going forward, you know, refill it, give the horsemen some notification, refill it, and do monthly, quarterly testing. All
right, here's my other one for you. How important is the pool for the horses themselves and getting them performing at their optimum?
Very good question there, Orville. We have at Caymanas Park roughly 1,000 athletes.
You call the horses athletes?
We do, because they are equine athletes. I mean, their training is quite phenomenal. The pool, on average, we have 40 horses swimming there in the mornings. And so you do the math, you know, we have 200 horses. And many people think that horses who use a pool can't train on the track. So it is not purely for rehab and those horses who can't effectively train or safely train on the track, those with leg injuries. It is also a standard part of perfectly happy horses where trainers just want to optimize that fitness, minimize the concussion. So it is a high traffic facility. Yes, the training track, the track surface will attract 3 to 4 times more horses in the morning, but this as a supplemental facility is extremely important.
One of the things I've heard some inventors saying is that they don't own the pool, and therefore they don't feel the onus is on them for these rehabilitation work? What's the...
Well, I think Supreme Ventures can best answer that. They are the lessees for the entire property. They are the owners by way of lease of the facilities on the compound. They are right that they did inherit the pool. We believe they would have inherited all the things, and commendations to them. They've worked really hard on the racetrack surface, and we're asking for that same kind of energy.
Okay.
The pool is a paid service. You know, people pay to use this pool, and it's cost effective to them versus going to the sea. So timeline, cost it, make it self-supporting, but you know, improve the water quality for our athletes.
All right, Dr. Sophia Ramlal, senior vet over there at Kemenas Park, addressing the issues with the pool at Kemenas Park. We hope that that is resolved. Doc, thanks for dropping in.
Thank you. We hope so too.
We'll take a break. More to come on Fan Central. Okay, welcome back, and we talk some netball now on Fan Central. We are going to have a quick chat with Sasha Gay Henry, who is the national netball coach. She'll spend a few minutes with us here on Fan Central. Hi, Miss Sasha Gay Henry. How art thou?
I'm good. Happy to be a part of your Fan Central tonight.
Yes, man, good. How long you been in the job now, by the way?
7 months.
7 months.
6 months.
If you had to describe what the job has been like for those 6-7 months, what would you say?
It's been a rewarding one just to see how well we are improving as a group. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, you know, to see what we have ahead of us. And whatever we have that we're working with so well, and the limitation that we have and we're working with so well, I mean, makes it good for us as a group. So it's quite an exciting journey for the past 6 months, and we're just looking forward to what is the expectation ahead of us.
Right. When you took over the job as president, Madam President, what were some of the...
President or coach?
Oh, the coach, I said president. What were some of the objectives that you set yourself to achieve during your stint?
One of the biggest things is that we need to develop netball in Jamaica. So not only improving on our world ranking, but to develop netball overall, trying to ensure that the pathways are in preparation mode that can filter into the different transitions that we want from under 13, under 14, and under 16, and under 21 level. And I think Netball Jamaica is doing well, and we're supporting that in terms of coaching. The commitment from the ladies is another big one. You know, we have gotten most of our players on board. We are having a lot of new players that are on board, and they are developing, and we are excited about that. And the opportunities that are ahead, we try to ensure that accountability is a big thing for us. The coach being accountable, players being accountable, being very disciplined towards the work, what we want to achieve, you know, setting the goals and ensuring everyone buy into those goals, you know. Teamwork is a big one for us, you know, good communication among all stakeholders, you know, just trying to build the brand. And I think it's going fairly well so far. We have a lot more work that needs to be done, but, you know, we're quite positive with what we're seeing right now, and we're expecting the best to come as we build as a group.
All right, Coach, you did say that spreading netball into wider and wider regions as opposed to unearth more and more talent. I want you to give me a little bit more detail as to how you intend to do that, or how have you started to do that?
Right.
Give me a little bit more detail on it.
It's trying to be involved in coaching workshops. So I think we just had one recently, a level 1 coaching workshop, a level 2 coaching course. One of the things you want to do is to try to help to build on the other skills of the other coaches, try to see how best we can merge together netball to come as one where the coaches now are getting the required skills that they need or to develop on their skills. And, for me, I just want to build on that, ensuring that I'm a part of those workshops with other coaches. I mean, we have Maureen Hall, who is the lead, Annette Daly, Minette Reynolds, just a few of them. And we're just happy to see what is happening in relation to that. Yeah. Being supportive of the other coaches. So the coaches in the under 21 program, under 16 program, being very supportive of them, trying to ensure that we work together as a group. If there are any questions, answer any needs, we try to assist each other and we're all on one page.
Okay. All right, Coach, we have to take a quick break. We'll come back and there are one or two questions I want to ask you, including replacing the veterans. There are some players that have been playing with us for a little while. How do we plan to replace some of these great names? That's one of the issues we'll tackle when we come back right after this break. Welcome back. We're talking to Sasha Gay Henry, the coach of the Sunshine Girls. Miss Sasha Gay, one of the things you were speaking about, I will continue with that a little bit, is developing the grassroots. Now, high school netball is pretty big in Jamaica, as well as primary school netball, and that is where, for most sports, the feeder program comes from. Are you happy with where primary school and high school netball is, and if whether or not you are, how do you plan to improve it during your stint?
I'm happy with the high school and primary. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I'm happy with what we have right now, and it's something where we can spot talent from. For a few years, we did not have a program like the under 21 and the under 16, but we're just coming back on board. And I think from last year there was the under 21, and now we have the under 16. They play Trinidad in a friendly. I think next week or next 2 weeks. Next week they will play a friendly, or next 2 weeks. So, I mean, we're excited of that. Based on what we do in the high schools, we're very good. And from that, we can spot a lot of talent. And what we can do is build on those talents. Yeah. But we want to have a situation where all the coaches are on the same pathway and are able to deliver. Okay. Just as though you'd have the track and field and the football coaches at level 1, level 2. That's where we want to go, so that we can even build on what those coaches have and try to implement more to develop and to get more skillful players.
Right. So that's at the high school level. What's happening at the grassroots, the primary school level, and what are your intentions in strengthening it at the very bottom?
Well, Netball Jamaica is the head, so I will have to take a lead based on what they say. So I have to respect that. So I know that the competition level can improve in terms of the primary, and I think Netball Jamaica is trying to get on board to get some of these coaches in, because the workshop recently was all about primary and prep school. So that was a good initiative, and they will continue to have these coaches on board. Mm-hmm. So I believe that in terms of primary, we can improve in every area, primary, senior, under 21, under 18, we can improve. So wherever my skill set is in terms of, and I think it would be more in terms of educating, so I think that's one of the biggest things for us, just trying to use our knowledge, going away, getting the knowledge and come back, because I'm also a learner at the same time.
Okay. One of the things that you said was part of your mandate going forward was to improve the ranking of the Sunshine Girls. We are perennially around 3rd or 4th, always behind New Zealand and Australia. Well, not always, but most of the times. Those two countries continue to be our nemesis. What can we do as a nation, and you as a coach, to one day be able to get the better of these two and be ranking number 1 in the world?
Yeah, I must say, based on what we have and the support financially is one of the big things for us, that we are unable to do certain things as a group. So one of the biggest thing I think is the support to keep the program alive, and we struggle with that right now. So we really want, persons to come on board and to create the platform for us to really excel and work hard based on what the others are working. When you go away and you look at what their strength and conditioning sessions are like and the gyms are like, we really don't have that to work with. So we really want persons to come on board and assist. We have to be building and we have to create the pathway for this to happen. Yes. The top 4 teams, and let me just put in the African teams are big too, and they're coming up. It's always really hard to compete. I mean, it's so close, it's easy to lose just to one error and that's it. So, I mean, it's just to get the girls in that competition mode. We don't compete a lot at the international level. I think it's a good thing now where Netball Jamaica is creating that opportunity for us to compete. We have 2 series. We have Fast 5 in November. We have the England series, the Horizon series in November, and we play South Africa in January. So that will help us to actually bring in some of our young players, try to push them into the program so they can get that skill, gain the valuable experience, and develop, because we have to create the pathway, because the senior players will go out. I mean, they're aging, but they're playing very well. So we have to try to create the platform for them to get that experience while playing. Most of the teams are playing more than us.
Yeah,
so that's one of the big things.
That's one of the issues I was coming to. There are many who feel that that our golden era in netball is just a little past. I mean, the Romelda Akings, the Janelle Fowlers, those players are, you know, experienced but getting towards the back end of their careers. And you know, there are some who feel that if we couldn't win the World Championship or the Commonwealth Games with names like those, we'll probably not win it for another 10, 15 years. What's your take on that?
No, I don't believe. I think there's still a chance for us. There's still hope. Can I say Romelda is on the back end, but she's playing the best in her life right now, you know. So it is just for them to come together, work hard. We can't get to bring these players in, you know, because we don't have the finance to bring them in a lot, to have them in camps, you know. So that's one of the big things about us, because we just don't have the funding to do that. So one of the things we really want to try is to get funding to be able to compete at that level, trying to do a lot of recruiting. We need to go out in all these parishes to find these players, you know. And I mean, for South Africa has a tall girl squad alone, something like that, but we really don't have the funding, and we really want to push hard on that, you know. So having some of these younger players now, and I guess the team is not named yet, but when we kind of integrating a lot of a blended approach where we have seniors and some of the youngsters, juniors coming in, and we see how well the seniors will work with them. We're going to look at the combination and implement strategies and see how well we can, you know, try to improve on the younger players' skills.
With the last count I heard, we had, I can't remember what was the number, maybe half dozen, maybe 9, maybe a dozen people playing in the ANZ down under. How do you intend to capitalize on that to make us, you know, give it a real go the next time the Commonwealth Games or the World Champs come around?
Yeah, so definitely we all of these players have committed to the program for the next 4 years. Not sure if all of them will go through, but they have committed, you know. And as I say, one of the big things is the funding, getting them here when the international series over, getting them here to do camps now and then, and just getting the international exposure. And, you know, we can't only depend on the senior players. We have to try and push as much to also develop our youngsters to come in and take and do a good job at it.
Yeah.
So I think we have a chance, you know, and it comes down to the nitty-gritty. It comes down to the final day when you have to play and the teams who are making the less errors and who capitalize. So we want to develop a holistic approach with our girls, you know, being mentally tough, being very supportive as a group, playing for each other, you know, giving the best at all times. And definitely, I think if we do that and having a great team behind the team, you know, so it's not only about the coach, it's about the nutrition, which, you know, can be a struggle at times. It's about the recovery.
Yes.
It's about getting the implements for them to work with that we can develop properly compared to what those other girls are used to.
You're touching on the area that I wanted you to touch on, Coach Sasha Gay Henry, because over the years of watching the Sunshine Girls, especially against Australia and New Zealand, it's not as if most times they are blowing us out of the water. Quite often we are neck and neck, toe to toe until maybe the third quarter. And then for some strange reason, we are just unable to get over that hump. We are right there with them for quite much of the game. What is it that, despite competing against these two juggernauts in netball over the years, we are just unable to, you know, cross the line first. If you had to pinpoint 2 or 3 reasons why that's the case, what would you say, and how do you intend to address it?
Yeah, it can be a mental case, you know, where players are not used to playing under so much pressure. So you have to prepare them in that way to play under pressure, playing extra time, doing all of that. So for me, a psychologist is something big that we're fighting for to be on board. It can be a lot of things. It can be poor rotation. It can be the coach's fault, not rotating the players not getting enough time. So you burn out one player. It can be conditioning, strength and conditioning, you know. So, you know, there's a lot of things that we can look at, you know, and that we can say that can cause a team to blow us out or our team to beat us by 1. A lot of times these teams who are winning the World Cup, the game is so of high intensity that one team might just be defeated only by one goal. We missed out on quite a few finals and played in 3rd place by just 1 goal. And it comes down to sometimes mental toughness, you know, doing proper recovery. But sometimes, trust me, we don't have what they have, but what we work with, it is a lot, trust me. So, I mean, we want to reach to the other level, you know, but it comes on the final day when we perform, we have to just give it our best.
All right, Coach Sasha Gay Henry, good luck in your endeavors. You've been there for 6-7 months. The more difficult days, I think, will be ahead, but you certainly sound like you have the capacity to deal with it. We'll be staying in touch.
Thank you.
All right, so that's coach of the Sunshine Girls, Sasha Gay Henry, on Fan Central. All right, Western Jamaica has long been a region of great success when it comes to football. However, in recent years, that end of the island has not been doing as well as they used to. They've come up a little bit short, truth be told, especially at the schoolboy football level. Rossies High is the last team from the West to win the Da Costa Cup, and that was way back in 2017. Cornwall College won it, but that was in 2016. And those were the last 2 schools who won it from that side of the island. Now, speaking with our reporter, Valentina Thompson, Montego Bay's mayor, Richard Vernon, says he's determined to fix all that. Take a listen and a look.
We're rebuilding as a city, as a region. Football is re-emerging in the space, so I did not expect to see a full stadium because first and foremost, the quality of the game needs to be lifted in Western Jamaica, and the coaches, they are doing what they must do to bring it to that level. And I believe that once the quality has increased, then the fans will give the necessary support.
And when we think about Montego Bay, we think about tourism as the driving force. But I know as a sportsman myself, I know that football is a rich part of this part of Jamaica. Theodore Whitmore is now the coach of Cornwall College, Shorty Malcolm, Hector Wright, so many national and former national players. They always say that when the West is strong, then Jamaica football is strong. As a young man yourself, if I can say, how committed are you to ensuring, working with clubs and other stakeholders to ensure that this part of the country is strong again?
More than 100% committed. You can go 110, can't pass 100. Right. But yes, very committed to the extent that we have engaged Montego Bay United to utilize the stadium as their home field, or their home stadium. And we have given them that latitude and we have entrusted them with that confidence because we want to give as much support to the team as possible. We believe that once there's a standout Premier League team in Western Jamaica, then they will galvanize the talent behind that unit, and then you will find that there's a rippling effect with the talent and the interest among the smaller clubs and the smaller leagues, that the Corner League, D2, you name them. And of course, schoolboy football. So what you find is that when you have back then a SEBA, a Wadada, they usually be the clubs that Rossies High School and Frome for Reno, right, and SEBA for Cornwall College. So you used to have that type of collaboration and transition from schoolboy football to Premier League. And once you saw the decline in the Premier League, you also saw a decline in schoolboy football. In the last 10 years, if you look at it, the schools that have done well in the Costa Cup are the schools that are within the proximity of larger clubs, the Humble Lion in Clarendon, and those, you name them. You know, you have Veer and all of those other clubs emerging. In Western Jamaica, you only have Montego Bay United. So think about that. So we have to rebuild, and we have to ensure that we are offering top-flight football to Western Jamaica and to Jamaica as a whole.
All right, so that little look at football in the West ends this section, but some more to come. We talk some cricket in the final quarter.